Hi guys, this is Alex, and welcome back to the Ur-Quan Masters. So, we've got a few things to do here. I got a whole bunch of things just floating around in my head that I'm trying to keep track of. Okay. Okay. We need to go first. Actually, I think we should probably just go here first, since we're over here. Alright. So there should be a couple of races. Not those, apparently. Wait. This isn't the rainbow world, is it? It might be... No. Okay. Well, fuck it then. Alright, there are a couple of races up here that we haven't encountered. I don't think it's necessary. Well, it might be, actually. I'm not sure. But I was coming this way anyway, so I figured I would encounter them. Gas giant planets. I know these guys are supposed to be around here. Maybe I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Alright, maybe they're over here. Alright, well I know one of them is. One of them's gotta be over here. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's one of them over there. Come on! Encounter me! What are you guys? What's going on with you guys?
I suppose, as a courtesy, I should extend an appropriate greeting. On behalf of the Ardwick Proctors, I truly hope, for your sake, that your day has been better than ours.
Well...
Although this really isn't saying that much.
Well... You're uplifting, aren't you?
What good would that do? I mean, why should we? We agonized for hours, wondering if it was a cruel twist of fate, or simply a serious case of butterfingering. Ah, the lifetimes that have been spent in the pursuit of the elusive answer to this deceptively simple question has driven many of us down the dark road of self-destruction. Indeed, even as these words strike the ears of any who care to listen, the real question is, does it matter? I cannot say. I wallow in a quandary, unable to determine what better atones for my part in the great sin. Should I engage in slow and painful self-termination? Should I commit myself to a long life of painful self-flagellation? Should I throw myself with enthusiastic verve at the problem of collective annihilation? I do not know. Even my mind writhes in anguish of indecision, lest the outcome be inadequate.
I forget what question I asked, but I'm pretty sure that was not the answer I was looking for. Well...
Alright, I'll try. But you know it really doesn't matter. After all, we have a famous Ardwick saying, when one loses the reason for existence, one tends to get less motivated.
Yeah.
Hand in hand with the painfully appropriate credo, we broke it, so we are paying for it. Of course, this isn't really accurate. The situation is so much more hideous. Imagine, if you can, holding within your hands the answer, only to have it haunt you with its former potential. Cruel irony. The loss of the Ultron grieves us all. Bah, it doesn't matter. Besides being of no concern to you, I find discussion of this matter distasteful. The Ur-Quan was not only the thing which ensures total and complete meaning of life for you and I, it is universal. I'm sure that you too are aware of this thing, if only in legend. It granted us all limitless power and knowledge. It has been since, well, rendered inoperative.
Oh God. That sounds gruesome. Let's try to sympathize with them.
You are kind. If we could wield the Ur-Quan to resurrect your splid, we would. But I suddenly am overcome with waves of depression. I must retire now to perform rituals of anguish. Waves of trauma wash across my being even now. I must go.
Okay. Well, that really brought a good video down. Okay, so those are the Utwig. Right, they said that. They said as much. Okay. But then there's supposed to be two races around here. The Utwig and the something or others. And the something or others should be right about here. I can see them on the map. There we go.
Greetings, fellow carbon creatures. May your roots always be well watered.
Sure.
I am Captain Lalee'lay. We come in peace.
What's with aliens and the laws? Ah la la la, falliloo flalilay, la la la.
Our starship is called the Tender Shoot.
That sounds peaceful.
We are the Super Utricularia from Earth.
Oh
Oh yes, we apologize for the confusion. Our home world is also called Earth, or more properly, Fleck, which means perfectly good and nutritious dirt. Earth is pretty close, is it not?
well, I guess that makes sense.
We learn and we adapt. We are symbions. Our first step in making friends is always to copy them. This is our idiom. Our kind evolved on a beautiful planet, orbiting the wonderfully green-hued star Roots. From the canopy of the great jungle to the shores of the azure sea, our species has flowered and grown well. Early in our evolution, we adapted to exist in symbiosis with other hardier life, both flora and fauna, who supplied us with nutrients, while we supplied them with reproductive assistance. Oh yes, we have a strong cultural bond with the Utwig. They have been the foundation around which we have grown our starfaring culture. We are not only allies, but we are also friends. You should go meet with them. They could use some excitement. You see, they are a little depressed and morose right now. Usually they are most festive and fun. They broke their Ur-Quan.
So what is this thing?
Rouge, the cruel, foul trading race who sold the device to the Utwig, called the device the Ultra, and claimed that it would give the Utwig super powers. Unfortunately, the Utwig believed the Rouge and bought the Ur-Quan. However, the device did make the Utwig very happy. Of course, we didn't tell them what we really thought of the Ultron. That they were vapid fools to buy a piece of junk for a planet's ransom. We went along with the falsehood, and in doing so showed our own stupidity. Then, one sad day a few years ago, the Utwig Proctor dropped the Ultron during a particularly energetic and festive ritual. Now the Utwig are morose and depressed. They feel they cannot ever achieve greatness because they lost the powers of the Ultron. They even gave the broken device to us, saying that they couldn't stand the sight of it anymore. We are worried that the Utwig are so depressed that they may use their ultimate weapon. Here, you take the Ultron. Maybe you can do something with it.
Sure.
We thought that if we could get the Ultron working again, it would cheer them up. So, we tried to figure out how to fix the darn thing, or at least get some of the flashing bits working again. But for all the Druzh's falsehoods, the Ultron is some kind of artifact, and we could not synthesize the necessary replacement parts. Perhaps on your journeys, you will find the elements necessary to repair the Ultron. Then you could give it to the Utwig, and maybe they wouldn't be so depressed.
Alright. I guess we'll fix that thing then. Alright. First things first, though, the reason I was coming over here was actually to find another rainbow world. Because I actually need to speak with the Lalee'lay, and I need to get information out of them. I need to get very specific information out of them, actually. And there's a lot of things that they can tell me. And in order to get information out of them, I need credits. So they will give me credits for the location of these rainbow worlds. So I just need to scan this thing, I think. Maybe not even do that much, but there we go. Ooh. Let's collect some of those radioactive materials. Haven't recorded myself collecting much in a long time. I don't think. Okay. Well, we'll collect this. This will give us a nice little boost to our resources. And collect the last little bit. Yeah, collect a few of those. Just because they're here. Alright, so we'll collect this, and then we'll head over to the, Lalee'lay, and we'll get some stuff from them. Well, while we're here, since we are now here with these guys again, see if there's anything more they can tell me.
Just go away. Leave us to ponder our grief. We know nothing of this species that you mention. However, while we are on the subject of evil and powerful species, we have encountered a particularly gruesome race that seemed to come from the direction of Arcturus. When we hailed them, they responded with mighty weapons that sent our delegation to the depths. Lucky fools. The aliens' dark, crusty battleships are capable of guiding spinning mines into almost any location. And should an enemy get too close, a fiery corona emerges to inflict fearsome damage. In our skirmishes with the race, who called themselves the Ur-Quan, we found that by using our own shielding capability, we could sweep through the mines, absorb the corona, and then get close enough to the dark ships to give a lick of our own. In truth, however, They are very powerful and ruthless. When the Korra started to press toward our homeworld, we thought that our deserved punishment was being administered. But then a mystery. They suddenly became disinterested and veered away. Ah, confounding frustration. With the Ur-Quan, I could speak knowledgeably on this subject. To have this quality torn from our grasp emphasizes how meaningless our existence really is. This lack of meaning is what drives my species to the serious contemplation of a quick end. As do we.
Okay.
Go now, with neither malice nor joy.
Okay. So I guess we'll have to figure out a way to get the goth kids to quit being so goth. Okay. Let's head over. We need to go here. Yes, I remember which direction I need to go in, because I had it memorized. Not all of the... I don't know all of the hyperspace, of the quasi-space, portal output locations, but I know some of them. I know like 2 of them. But yeah, basically, you can use quasi-space to get around really quickly. I'm using it more to save time than to save fuel. So I want to get around to these places really quickly so that we don't encounter a scenario where we run out of time again. Okay, I know the Melnorme are supposed to be here. Somewhere. Come on. Got stuff to sell to you. Sure you want to know. There you go. There you are. Come here. Come here. Quit running away from me. Thank you.
Once again.
Yes, yes. I have stuff to sell.
Your ship's log indicates that you...
Yes. Okay. Let's make some purchases. Information.
As you know, in our many centuries of star trading, we Lalee'lay have come to learn much about what happens in our galaxy, both now and in the ancient past. We have also kept records of the diverse alien races in your region space. We will share this crucial knowledge with you for a fee of 75 credits per informative fact. No refunds. The Zakfatik are a friendly co-op of 3 alien species, all native to the same world. They are presently suffering severe collateral damage from the ritual combat between the Ur-Quan and the Korra. While this is unfortunate for the Zakfatik, they have been forced to abandon many of their worlds. This close proximity to the inter-Ur-Quan war will give them insights into the conflict, which will be of great use to you. In addition, the Zakfatik met the Chenjesu early on in the war, and are eager to make allies who can protect them from their enemies. In case you are interested, the Zakfatik homeworld is at coordinates 400.0 by 543.7, Planet 1.
Alright. So I think what I need is information. What I actually really need is information on some alien races, so I'm just gonna have to keep purchasing that, I guess.
The Ur-Rat are presently attacking the Pekunk in the Lalee'lay and Kruger constellations. These beings have slavish devotion to their dark gods Dogar and Kazan, which in the past few years has been used against them by the Unga. If you need to manipulate the Ur-Rat, we suggest you discover the Unga's technique and duplicate it.
So we can do that.
The Ur-Quan are a mystical offshoot of the Yehat species, who left their bird brothers long ago to found a peaceful enclave in the Cougar and Gaitless stars. At the present time, the Ur-Quan are defending themselves against the Ur-Rat, who have been commanded to attack the happy birds by Ilgar and Kazan. The Ur-Quan may be unwilling to make a formal alliance with you, but we have confidence that if you explain yourself honestly, they will help your efforts against the Ur-Quan. The creatures presently fighting the Ur-Quan are called the Korah. They are an Ur-Quan subspecies who split off from the main species many thousands of years ago. Their present fight is a ritual reenacting of a major difference of opinion between two rival Ur-Quan leaders after the Ur-Quan overwhelmed their slave masters, the Vinyarne. The Korah are immune to reason, having long ago lost the ability to see their situation objectively. They live in a self-maintained paradox. To ensure their safety and security, the Korah fight an endless battle against all other sentient species. I must warn you about some very bad people. Is this worth so many credits? You ask yourself. I assure you it is. The creatures are called the Druge, and they are a callous and evil race. They care for nothing but profit and personal gain through unfair mercantile exchanges. Why are you looking at me like that, Captain? It is not appropriate. As I was saying, these wicked creatures will try to sell you commodities at unreasonably low prices. Boy, they almost give away fuel. Do not fall for their tricks. There are hidden costs, secret tariffs, so that you may avoid them. I will tell you that their main trade world is Zeta Persei 1. Why are you smiling, Captain?
For reasons, that's why.
The Berbixes race evolved on the planet Arcturus 1. They lived there in a relatively benevolent manner until the Korah came and destroyed them during the course of 2 or 3 unfortunate days. The Druge were largely responsible for the Korah finding the Berbixes. You see, the Berbixes were in long-distance, hyperwave contact with a race known simply as the Geg. For decades, the Geg and the Berbixes traded much valuable information until the Geg came under attack by an invading race who you may know as the Korah. The Geg warned the Berbixes that the Korah located races by their hyperwave transmissions and that they had already discovered the radiations from the Druge. When the Berbixes were kind enough to warn the Druge that a hostile alien race was homing in on their hyperwave radiations, the Druge shut down all their transmitters and erected a powerful hyperwave beacon on the surface of the Berbixes moon. The Korah changed course, attacked the poor Berbixes, and sadly destroyed them all.
Okay, so the Druze are assholes then.
The Fradash are an arrogant, stubborn, and thick-skinned species who reside in the Draconis and Apodus star systems. They have little or no respect for anything but force, which they admire greatly. To make the Fradash your friends, you should consider killing most, but not all of them. In addition, they guard some kind of sacred relic at the star system Zeta Draconis, though we do not know the true nature of this artifact. The Fradash homeworld is at Delta Draconis.
Okay.
After the war, the Chengesku and the Mernherman chose to be slave-shielded on Chengesu's homeworld at Procyon. We suspect that they are melding their two species to form some kind of new hybrid race, a race which may well be powerful enough to destroy the Ur-Quan single-handedly. However, by our calculations, this process will take many decades, if not centuries. Should you wish to talk to them, we recommend you invest in a hyperwave broadcasting system, which is powerful enough to penetrate the shield around their world.
I think we might have that.
The Nikon are using this time, while the Ur-Quan have their attention elsewhere, to expand their sphere of influence as fast as possible. The Nikon colonize planets by launching tough spore pods from orbit and injecting them under the planet's surface. Months later, after the spores have grown hundreds of thick, fibrous tendrils under the planet's crust, the tendrils suddenly thrust up out of the planet and create huge calderas. Not incidentally, filling the planet's atmosphere with the Mycon's preferred gases, clouds of superheated steam and sulfuric acid.
Okay.
During the end of the war, the Androsynth began experimenting with interdimensional fatigue, a process which is related to your faster-than-light drive, but involves dimensions far more alien than hyperspace. They had just made a major breakthrough when they were suddenly wiped out by a race called the Ors, who appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Actually, we don't know what the Ors did to the Androsynth. They're just all gone.
I was told to not trust the Ors, but we kind of already made an alliance. So maybe we'll just have to deal with that for the time being.
The Lalee'lay are a mysterious race of IDF beings. IDF meaning interdimensional fatigue. They do not reside in this galaxy, or in fact, anywhere in this universe. While it is true that the Lalee'lay are rarely seen far from the Columbae star group, they do make regular, secret visits to your world, and have done so for centuries. Ever since Earth was slave-shielded, they have focused their attention on the humans aboard the starbase, many of whom are now members of your crew. Though the Lalee'lay always smile and are never overtly hostile, we believe that they have a secret agenda which somehow involves your planet, Earth. These secret plans may or may not cause grief and woe to you Earthlings.
Okay.
Just under 20 years ago, the brave and suicidal Shofixi annihilated their species by exploding a precursor device, some kind of bomb, in the interior of their sun. The resulting storm of solar flares cooked the life off the Show-Fixty homeworld, and incinerated over 100 Ur-Quan dreadnoughts which had just entered the system to conquer the Show-Fixty. In actuality, there are still at least a dozen Show-Fixty left alive in the galaxy. 1 or 2 are at Delta Gorno, guarding the dead hulk of their once beautiful world. Others can be found in Buck's space.
Okay, we already knew that.
Lalee'lay
Sort of.
are a mostly non-solid, sentient race who live in a gas giant at Beta Colony. We recently sold them a self-replicating exploration probe, which has somehow turned hostile and attacks everything it detects. If such encounters have angered you, Captain, please do not address your concerns to us. We possess a formal waiver of damages authorized by Lalee'lay speaker and are in no way responsible for the situation.
To be fair, they kind of aren't responsible for the situation. Not too much.
The cowardly Spacky live at the single planet orbiting Epsilon groups. They do not actually live on their world, rather they reside on its airless moon. The reason? A xenomorphic species which craves the sweet flavored flesh of the Spacky has been transported to the surface of their planet and makes every attempt to devour the poor Spacky. I'm certain the Spacky would be forever in your debt if you were to eliminate these creatures from their planet. What? You fear the alien creatures will find you a treat also? Two, our data reveals the beasts are not interested in your species. Should you wish to consult with the Spacky Ruling Council, you will need to know the secret Spacky cipher, a password, which is Puffy, Muffy, Guffy. Like you Earthlings, when the war with the Ur-Quan was lost, the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded. Their new world is at Beetlejuice. The Cyrene starbase is crewed by the starship commanders and crew who were decommissioned at the end of the war. Though the Cyrene hate the Ur-Quan with a vengeance, they are unlikely to offer you assistance unless you reveal to them the truth behind the tragedy of their original homeworld, Syra, which was destroyed by the birth of a Micron deep child a century ago.
Okay, that's important information.
When the Ur-Quan entered Gamma Serpentis, the home star of the Yeha, their queen made a sudden change of allegiance and allied with the Ur-Quan hierarchy. They became Ur-Quan combat thralls. This act was viewed by most Yeha starship officers as ultimately dishonorable, the desperate act of a corrupt regent to maintain her throne. The Yeha shame was greatly magnified by the Show-Fixty's show of courage when they destroyed their own star system to slow down the Ur-Quan armada. Captain, you have heard all that we have to say about aliens indigenous to this region. Should we learn more in the near future, we shall be certain to sell it to you.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't...
What else would you like?
That's it.
It's been a pleasure dealing with you, Captain.
Yes, yes, yes. Alrighty then. I'm glad we were able to get all that information. Wasn't expecting to get quite that much. I'm glad I got 2 of the locations of those rainbow worlds, because I wouldn't have been able to get all of that information without it. Okay. So I know some of that is actually going to be really important, not just knowing it, but it's actually going to be important because some of that actually unlocks dialogue options that are going to be important if I want to win the game. So, real quick, it's been a little while since I've talked to Commander Hayes, and we need to do this real quick because this episode is going on a little bit longer than I wanted it to.
Captain, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. I've been waiting to inform you of a new situation. Good news, Captain. With no announcement, a small fleet of Ur-Lalilay popped into space adjacent to our starbase, scaring the hell out of the deep raider operator. But right now, I could kiss every one of those pale little weirdos because they gave us 3 skiff vessels. Also, we have a major situation, Captain. As of a few days ago, all Spathy starship captains have vanished from our starbase. We don't know how or why, but until we receive replacements from Spathywa, you will be unable to commission any additional Spathy eluder vessels for your fleet.
Yeah, and I didn't get any Spathy vessels constructed this time around, unfortunately.
More fuel for the fire, eh, Captain?
Yeah, okay.
Return soon, Captain.
Yeah, I didn't get any constructed because I didn't have the resources for it. Alright. Refuel it. Oh, I've done so much for my starship. Really? I got most of the resources for this in just a few trips. Because once you know, like, where there are a couple of, like, really resource-heavy worlds. Now that'll do. Okay. Well, no, I should have added some crew there. Not a few. Alright. Alright, yeah, once you know where there are some really resource-heavy worlds, it kind of becomes a lot easier to, just sort of grab some resources, while you're on the way to, like, doing some important quests, like meeting this Spathy or something, and just like, oh, there just happens to be this gigantic treasure world on the way there, so I'll stop there on my way. So anyway, wow. This episode went on quite a while. That was a lot of exposition. Oh, well, we got a lot of information, and that's good for us, because now we can, head out and check out some of those worlds. So we'll do that in the next episode. So I'm going to end this one here. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And until next time.